All Blacks. Two members of the 23 have younger brothers who played in the All Blacks side against Italy on Saturday. I'm talking about Akira Ioane and Marty McKenzie. How's that?
Good evening, welcome to an unusually wet Stoop. I'm sure that the people will enjoy themselves even so, but it would be nice if it stopped fucking raining.
Good evening, John. It's an important celebration match tonight for Harlequins, but as an 80-minute exercise, what do you expect to get out of it?
Opportunity for players to put their hands up, really. You know, it's well documented that we've obviously had to hold a few players back with the Leicester game coming up on Sunday, but we've got several players out there who've been waiting to get the opportunity to play, and doesn't get any better than this, does it, an occasion like this against the opposition we're up against, and you know, I'm looking forward to watching a few of them play.
Yeah, the opposition you're up against, they're basically a Super Rugby 15, aren't they? You're up against it, aren't you?
They're a good side, obviously, yes, and they've been touring together, and clearly, you know, we're a little bit composite because we've had to bring a few players in. But, you know, for us tonight, it is a celebration. We want to be really competitive. We want to challenge them the best we possibly can. It's the way we want to be. We've got some great young players. We've got a bit of experience in there as well, and the guys can't wait to get going.
Colin, you've won one, lost one, final match of the tour. Does this really define success and failure?
Oh, I think it's about developing our players, and we went well against USA, not so well against Munster. We certainly learned how to adjust to the game in the UK and adjust to the refereeing and adjust to the laws. So it's been a good learning curve, not just for the players but for the coaches also.
You switch around your 9s and 10s. Is that a significant alteration tonight?
As I said, it's developing players for the future, and we just got to keep driving that. We've got a big game next year, and there's an opportunity for this tour to look at combinations and look at individuals.
Your third match in 12 days. How concerned are you that fatigue might be a factor?
Oh, it's a good challenge for the players, and you find out the players that stand up and the players that fall away.
I hope it goes well for you.
Thank you very much.
It promises to be quite a night for aficionados of New Zealand rugby. The Maori have come to the southwest of the capital and they've brought a team brimming with quality and Super Rugby experience. For Harlequins, it's one of the key nights of their 150th anniversary celebrations and a chance for old and new Quins alike to stake claims for places in John Kingston's side for the weeks to come. Into teams. Mindful of the resumption of the Aviva Premiership this weekend, it's a slightly unfamiliar Harlequins lineup, though there are some easily recognised faces. One of those is the captain for the night, Adam Jones, who is part of a front five, which includes a British and Irish Lion, a junior world champion and a Super Rugby winner. Behind the scrum is where youth is truly given a chance. Those from 11 through to 14 are 22 or younger. Of those, just Henry Cheeseman has played previously for the Quins senior side. On to away team. 12 of the Maori starting 15 have Super Rugby contracts in place for next season, which almost by definition means most of this team are within a handful of impressive performances of being in contention to play for the senior New Zealand side. Indeed, two of them, scrum half Brad Webber and prop Kane Hames, have already played Test rugby. Akira Ioane at number 8 is one to keep an eye on, while at fullback, James Lowe has scored 2 tries in 3 appearances on this tour. On to the replacements, and Harlequins have a handful of guest players tonight. 3 of those from 20 through to 22 play for the Ealing Trailfinders, not that far away from here. The Maori All Blacks, well, they include a Terry Black of the Hurricanes, who was a victorious Super Rugby player last year, number 2 to Bowden Barrett.
I'll go for a nice slow line. That's fine, fella. What I'll do is I'll be nice and slow as well. But you know I haven't got a moment. I am.
Callum, he was great, but he was our professional. He was working with the broadcast. Well, 77 cents got used to the good stuff. And then you, even if it's just a 20-second. Ton of money as well.
Nice shoes, mate.
Thanks, mate. Sorry for the song.
Yeah, boys.
It promises to be quite a night for aficionados of New Zealand rugby. The Maori have come to the southwest of the capital, and they've brought a team brimming with quality and Super Rugby experience. The Harlequins, it's one of the key nights of their 150th anniversary celebrations, and a chance for old and new Quins alike to stake claims for places in John Kingston's side for the weeks to come. Let's take a look at the teams. Mindful of the resumption of the Aviva Premiership this weekend, it's a slightly unfamiliar Harlequins lineup, and there are some easily recognised faces. One of those is the captain for the night, Adam Jones, who is part of a front five which includes a British and Irish Lion, a junior world champion and a Super Rugby winner. Behind the scrum is where youth is truly given a chance. Those from 11 through to 14 are 22 or younger. Of those, just Henry Cheeseman has played previously for the Quins senior side. 12 of the Maori starting 15 have Super Rugby contracts in place for next season, which almost by definition means that most of this team are within a handful of impressive performances of being in contention to play for the senior New Zealand side. Indeed, two of them, scrum half Brad Webber and prop Kane Hames, have already played Test rugby. Akira Ioane at number 8 is one to keep an eye on, while at fullback, James Lowe has scored 2 tries in 3 appearances on this tour. On to the replacements. Quins have 5 guest players tonight. They include those between 20 and 22. All 3 are Ealing Trailfinders from just a few miles away. The Maori include 3 Hurricanes on their bench. Otere Black, he's the fly half deputy in Wellington to the incumbent with the All Blacks, Bowden Barrett. Well, it's been a wet evening, certainly thus far. The rain appears to have subsided just a little, right on cue for the kick-off in a few minutes' time. Alongside me, former Harlequin and all-round good egg. It's a good evening to Brian Moore.
Good evening, Roger. Well, the good news is it has stopped raining. However, the surface is very, very greasy, which I think we'll have to take into account when the sides, I expect, try to throw the ball around in, given the nature of both teams and the way that they like to play the game.
And we look at the 2 lineups, and there's some interesting head-to-heads as we look there at John Kingston, who gets a chance to see new names, not necessarily new names to him, but new names for many people who are coming here who have yet to play for the senior side. But for the Quins tonight, have got 2 world champion winners, or 2 world champions from the under-20s in the summer, likes of Sam Aspel and Robinson, and also Stan South. It'll certainly be interesting to see how they step up here against a side who, as we say, are essentially a scratch Super Rugby 15, having drawn on players from across the Super Rugby franchises.
The difference, though, you'll find, I would think, is that having been on tour and having had the time together, irrespective of the fact they don't play together regularly, that the fluency will be there with the Maori, and In contrast, Quins will have been training together probably for about a week and trying to do all their homework, but it would be almost impossible for them not to have a few hitches early on, I would think, in terms of timing and so on. It depends, I think, whether or not they settle down as quickly as the home fans would like them to.
So here come the familiar black jerseys, this time of the Maori All Blacks. Certainly from a distance, to be able to discern them from those of New Zealand, the full senior side. They've certainly got their first choice half-back partnership tonight with Brad Weber and Ihaya West. And as I was saying earlier, 12 of these 15 have Super Rugby contracts next season. The Harlequins, well, if you look at the front five, certainly vastly experienced. Mark Reddish at 4, maybe a new name to many followers of Harlequins, but he was a Super Rugby winner last season, or should I say really last year, with the Highlanders. So there they are, the 23 men. The captain, Ash Dixon, the Otago Highlander. And here come the home side. One of the 5 guests starts, a certain Dan Leo, but they're led out by a man who has played in 100 test matches, 95 of those for Wales, 5 for the British and Irish Lions. So there he is, Adam Jones, former Osprey, now 35. So the Quins lining up, and now something that will look very familiar indeed. It is the Maori All Blacks haka, the taumatanga. Well, the first time they'll have played an English Premiership side for 4 years when they're up at Welford Road against Leicester. That was quite a game. Leicester just winning it by 2 points, but it was a high-scoring match. And with that rain having gone, Brian, fair to say we might see something similar tonight.
Well, I sincerely hope so. Quins have got it all on today to get near, I would think, the Maori team, but I hope it turns out to be like that, so we have a contest. Interesting for some of the younger players who will have probably faced the haka just for the first time tonight, and people often wonder what it's like to face a haka. Well, it's fantastic if you're a competitor, because what more of a challenge could you have than a public demonstration, an invitation to battle than that?
Well, the referee for the night from Ireland, Andrew Brace. His two assistants today, Dean Richards and Paul Dix, familiar faces to followers of the Aviva Premiership. The television match official is David Rose. The last match of 3 on their tour for the Maori All Blacks. They started off over in Chicago the night before. The Irish beat the full New Zealand side. What a weekend that was on that occasion. The New Zealand Maori put more than 50 points on the United States, full international, that match. And then last Friday at Thomond Park, on what was yet another special night in the aftermath of tragic circumstances for Munster. Well, Munster won that by 27 points to 14. So I suppose in many respects, the outcome here, Brian, determines really whether this has been a successful or perhaps a rather less successful tour for the New Zealand Maori.
It does, and from their point of view, I think they would be expecting to win handsomely tonight. Quinn's very much an experimental team and less time to prepare. As you said earlier on in the introduction, nearly all of the Maori team have Super Rugby contracts next year, and that tells you all you need to know about the quality of the players.
Well, Joe Gray got much in common with you, Brian. Not only a hooker, and he spent much of his life in Nottingham in the East Midlands. That hasn't gone the way of Harlequins, though. Straight into the hands that time of Petu Douglas, one of those 3 players in this Maori side who doesn't have a Super Rugby contract for next season. And there is the first knock-on, coming from the fullback, James Lowe.
No advantage.
Well, all a little bit untidy from both sides.
It was interesting that Quinn's decided to kick off a turnover. I never necessarily in favour of that. Move the ball 1 or 2 passes and then see how the land lies. If a player outside you makes a decision to do that, then fine.
Left.
Simple inattention there.
Boys, just one is now, okay?
Well, I shall defer to you for the next couple of minutes. We've got our first scrum of the night. Some interesting head-to-heads, quite literally there, going cheek by jowl. Kane Hames on the loose head side for the Maori All Blacks. A man who's earned 1 cap for the All Blacks, up against Adam Jones. 5 for the British and Irish Lions.
Let's go, boys.
95 for Wales, and despite his advancing years, when he had the I think it was a shock to him actually when he had to play the full game earlier in the season against South, and he played in the wrong position as well for him at loose head, and he performed tremendously. But this is an important facet of the game for Quins, because they have to hold their own here. If they get under pressure, if they can't secure their own ball, then it will be a long, long night.
Well, John Kingston has ensured that he's got plenty of experience in that front 5 with Joe Gray. At hooker, Dan Murphy has been fully fledged professional in the Aviva Premiership for a decade now, although his appearance last week in the Anglo-Welsh Cup was his first for 9 months because of injury.
Listen to me, okay? My message is clear. Space and balance. Is that clear? Next one's a free kick then. Let's go.
Space and balance means anything you want it to mean, doesn't it, really? You know, I wish referees would just let them get on with it and penalise them when they don't do it right, because they're not qualified to give front row advice anyway.
Space and balance could be a physics or chemistry lesson, couldn't it? So here's the pudding from the Quins scrum half, Luke Jones. Well, it's all untidy and the pressure really applied by the Maori All Blacks. That is ominous, isn't it?
It is, and you see the problem there when the hooker can't strike the ball
Hands in the scrum. Hands
quickly to the back row. It simply stays there, and if you get under pressure, then you're in trouble.
Hands in the scrum.
It'd be much easier just to hook the ball, actually.
It's gone out of fashion though, hasn't it? There you can see that really is the last refuge of the scrummaging scoundrel, isn't it, the hand?
Yeah, can't do that. And well, it is 40 odd metres here.
AR call,
on the
hands in the scrum.
Preferable side for a right-footed kicker.
Well, Brian, the first time I ever came to this ground, it actually had a running track around it.
It did when I was here. There was one stand here, a very small stand, where we are actually situated. On the other side was a hut, and the rest of it was grass and shale banking. And you look at it now, and it's a nice, tidy stadium, which I have to say is nearly full, which is a credit to the drawing power of the Maori, I think.
No, spot on when you consider how difficult things are by mid-November on a Wednesday night in the London traffic. It takes quite a bit of effort to get almost anywhere. Here's Ehire West, the Auckland Blue. Well, it was just fighting there with that right hand upright, and he just lost it a little bit to the right. So off beam, first time up for Ehire West. Plays his provincial rugby for the Magpies, as they call them. Tim Swiel, one of the almost first-team regulars in this Quins starting lineup tonight. Back to Ehire West, goes the aerial route. Swiel puts his name on it, but then runs right underneath it. More by luck than any real judgment. It comes out on the Quinn side, taken in there by Archie White, who's one of the teenagers tonight playing in those famous Harlequin jerseys. Luke Jones. There's the carry from Naupu. Naupu, who, as the name would suggest, has very strong ties with the Pacific Islands and also New Zealand. Well, is there a name on this one? Well, it was the fullback who came for it, James Lowe. Carried on by Joe Gray, always easy to spot in that bright blue headgear. Stepping through there was Henry Cheeseman. Now from Luke Jones, there is Naupu again, just inside the Maori All Blacks half. Back from Luke Jones. The carry that time coming from Stan South. This time it's a penalty to the home side.
Clean the tackle area, please.
That's encouraging from a Quins point of view. The Maori line speed was very good, and yet the receivers didn't put their outside men in trouble, took the responsibility to take the ball in to contact, and Quins getting enough players in to win the ball back.
Somebody I want you to keep an eye on tonight, Brian. Mark Reddish, wearing 4 for Harlequins, recently arrived from New Zealand, a Super Rugby winner 15 to 16 months ago with the Highlanders. Has been recruited by John Kingston, came north after the most recent domestic season in New Zealand, and many people believe that he will find himself sooner rather than later into the Aviva Premiership side. It'll be interesting to see just how fit he is. He should be after having come off a domestic season. Anyway, here's Swiel. And Swiel straight through the uprights from 45 or 46 metres.
Well, that's a good marker from Swiel, because occasionally he can be a little inconsistent with the kicking duties, but that will give him a lot of confidence, and it went over by a good 10 metres as well.
Yes, they're in New Zealand. Links all over this ground tonight with Harlequins, particularly Nick Evans. I know he's not playing tonight, but caught up with him, didn't you, just before kick-off?
I did. He looks like a Mexican bandit at the moment. I don't quite know what he's doing. I think it's Movember.
Very impressive, though. It's almost like one of those classic Australian cricket moustaches from the 1970s. Got an old Dennis Lilly or an Ian Chappell or something like that.
Well, that's not... The modern way to save face is to say he'll be disappointed in that, but frankly he knows it wasn't good enough. Just took his eyes off the ball.
Good space, hold our balance.
Quins have got a decent blind side here of about 20 metres if they can manage to get the ball. Maori's sending an extra defender over there, because they know if the scrum does wheel right and their back row gets shoved in field, that it gives the number 9, the winger, a huge head start. So they defended it with 2 men, which means Quins have got 2 extra men.
The
on
two
the
of you,
open
more
side.
space. The two of you. Here, okay? Ear to ear, don't lean in.
Good, good. They're stepping up, they're pushing about. Good.
Yeah.
You stick to our process. Let's go now, let's go.
Often an underrated quality is the just the very reputation of a fast wing. Sam Aspen Robinson out there on that right wing for Harlequins tonight. Junior world champion with England during the summer.
Early.
Just his very presence could create gaps on other parts of the pitch. There's Luke Jones. There is a touch for the New Zealander.
Advantage.
Scooped up and turned over by the Maori All Blacks. That was good work from Matt Proctor. Back there from the scrum half, Brad Webber. Referee says the advantage is over. Here's James Lowe. Lowe, 2 tries against the United States 12 nights ago in Chicago.
Away now.
So Harlequins lead. We've been going almost 10 minutes.
Way tonight.
Little chip over the top, well disguised, but been well gathered by Jones. Offloaded it well. There's a big fella, is Macalcius, the left wing tonight for Harlequins, making his senior debut. There's no Upu. Upu's been in the Northern Hemisphere for 7 years now, having originally come over to play for Connacht. That was on to Cheeseman. Here's Jones, out to Sweel. Here's Aspen Robinson finding himself in the 12 channel.
Tackle Black, move!
Doing well to get the ground. You can see the Maori All Blacks were trying to keep him in the air. The kick end over end there from Tim Sweel.
Well, it's made enough ground and it puts it deep into the Maori 22, but now the task on his quick throw it, off they go.
Here's Ihaya West. Looks up, sees some space.
Well, that's well played because it's made what was a potentially difficult line out reasonably close to their own line. Now well away from it, and actually Quinn should have been a bit quicker.
Step off there, please.
Well, the Aviva Premiership is a truly international league these days. If this fella ever gets to play in it, though. Jonas Macalcius, Lithuanian, spending most of his rugby at Hartbury College over there in Gloucestershire at the moment, but he's a big old unit, stands well over 6 feet tall, weighs in excess of 100 kilos. Same sort of proportions as Tim Fisher, I suppose you could say.
One stop, 9.
Joe Gray just doing a little bit of sparring with Fetu Douglas. There it is for Jones. Cassius just looking for the ball on his shoulder. It's been an encouraging start from Quins, hasn't it?
It has. What they need, though, is they need to make more ground when they take the ball into context. Very slow. They are winning it, but it's very difficult.
Hold on.
When the possession is so slow, you're on flat defence and good line speed.
Oh, terrific hands there from Rory Jackson onto Macalcius. Ihaya West just trying to get his foot onto the touchline, which he did.
Which he did. Intelligence, rugby intelligence, quick thinking.
Scrum board. Make sure you arrive up with the breakdown.
And has he given the scrum to...
Let's go.
The Maori has. I think they'd have preferred a quick line out that they just got and running down the field, don't you? See here, clever bit of play, just trying to dump his foot down.
Rory Jackson got a bit of the Francis Drake about him.
Well, you weren't on the last one, so I need you ear to ear. Is that clear? Yes, fine. Thank you. Let's go then.
It's very Elizabethan.
Well, all sorts of results come out of November.
There, guys. You're left. You're both left. Let's go.
Well, his goes back to April or May.
The both of you are left. Okay.
So, 3 points to 0. Harlequins lead. We've been playing 13 minutes. The Maori playing their third match in 12 days.
Point.
So fatigue might be a factor. There's the put in from Brad Webber. Plays for the Chiefs.
Rock solid ball.
It was Tim Bateman at first receiver that time. Now test the aerial, catching a Macalcius. He's brave under that as well. This fella's starting to impress, isn't he? Ball being held in the contact, no penalty to the men in black.
Very difficult area, this.
Holden.
It's not until you see a very slow motion replay that you are able to discern whether or not the player has released him, whether he's got to his feet, whether the guy is actually holding on. The fact is that referees take the view now, whatever you do at the breakdown, it's got to be immediate.
Got to keep that now, yeah?
With a lovely bit of work in the loose there by Shane Christie. Not at this place, it was just a little bit before. Classic number 7 play, in on the man, supporting, quick ball back. Makes such a difference.
Inside.
Yes, big Tom Franklin was up there as well, wasn't he? The Highlander, there's Tom Franklin, one of the 2-metre men on show tonight.
Can't see it in that shot, but Ambrose Curtis, the winger, is hovering just inside.
Christie offloading it to Bateman. There's Webber. The carry there from Douglas. And here is the space, and it's yet another score for James Lowe. Number 4 on the tour, and this is 3rd appearance. And in the end, well, it was pure simplicity.
Well, it was well worked because Curtis and another inside player took the ball into contact. Curtis was the clearer, and it meant that Ihaya West, watch here, runner 7, unusual. Bateman goes in, but that leaves Ihaya West to distribute. In fact, he didn't need it because the first up tackling simply wasn't there, and that's the difficulty for Quins. They really, you cannot give aside those sort of gaps, because when you play against any team, but teams that handle well, like the Maori do, then you're going to be in trouble.
Yes, I think they exploited a bit of a weak link between Gabriel Ibitoye and Stan Sal, 2 of the youngsters here. Salutary lesson at this level, you have to make your first up tackle. So Ihaya West, decent strike first time, but just drifted past the upright. That's rather better.
Yep.
Nick Evans would have been proud of that one. There is the coach, Colin Cooper, and he played more than 100 times for Taranaki. Mount Taranaki, it's New Plymouth on the western side of the North Island.
Captain.
Webber
Back, boys.
back here to Ihaya West. Across comes Rory Jackson. Jackson's got a bit of momentum. Well, it was well kicked. It was anticipated by James Lowe, but there was nothing he could do about that. Quickly taken by Lowe. This is what Harlequins have got to expect. What a break, and now they've got numbers over out wide. This one is for Curtis to chase, but coming across, there is Ibitoye.
Well, Ibitoye's done well in extremis there. Can't help thinking that was the wrong option, but Quinn's caught again. Not paying attention to the line out on beautiful, beautiful feet. What a break that was.
That's going to end now. That's going to end now. Stop coming at me. Is that clear?
See, not paying attention.
Time off.
Super feet here. See the head up, looking where he's going, look at the options.
Have a word with 9, please. He's not going to come at me like that again.
Well, he's got a player, is Brad Webber, one of the full All Blacks here in this Maori All Black side. There he is. Made his debut off the bench against Samoa last year. And Warren Gatland, who, well, he's always at work, isn't he?
Good, lads.
He'll have a challenging time, I predict, next year.
Yeah, time on.
Yes, match number 5 of the tour for the British and Irish Lions next year is against the Maori All Blacks, happening in Rotorua. Lovely part of the world. Tends to smell a bit though, doesn't it, in Rotorua? It's all that underground activity. Splendid part of the world. Anybody who's been there knows exactly what I mean. Even locals call it Rota Vegas. Into the hands there of Petu Douglas, the Waikato chief. As Akira Ioane, his younger brother Rico, made his All Blacks debut at the weekend in Rome, scored a try. Into the line there was Lowe. Oh, this player is quite outstanding, isn't it? Try number 5 for the tour for James Lowe.
Saw the defence was drifting slightly and saw the gap and had the pace to go through it. One of the things that both the All Blacks and a lot of the New Zealand Super Rugby teams and indeed the Maoris do, when you see the ball come across, you see one of the back rows. In this occasion it was Shane Christie. You can see he was lurking there. He's there either to carry the ball or to be first man in to win the ball quickly, and what that does, it creates difficulties for the defence because they're not quite sure where he's going to make his contribution. And at the end of the day, with any 2-on-1, I always think, got to hit the man with the ball. If he passes it, someone else catches it outside, not your fault.
Well, it was worth 7 points, and that's what it gets. Ihaya West finding his mark, 14 points to 3.
Rather ominous sequence that the Maori starting to look quite fluent, aren't they?
Well, John Kingston looking on. Yes, it's a busy old time. He's had 2 rounds of the Anglo-Welsh Cup. He's got Leicester in the Aviva Premiership on Sunday. He's then got Bath back here the following week. He's got players away with the England squad. Certainly having to dig deep.
Stay on side, Black.
The kick there from Webber. Here's Rory Jackson. Just lost his feet. Jones. Here's Naupu. A rumble from Adam Jones. Ooh, rather stationary and slow at the moment. Naupu tries to give it a bit of momentum. Jones, Joe Gray, little inside ball, but rather flat. Something of a euphemism. Swiel. Look at the defence there, just cutting off really any route Henry Cheeseman had to his teammates. And, well, frustrating Harlequins and getting the penalty, the player isolated, holding on. And it goes back to that point you were making.
One of the problems for Quins as well is they're having to commit significantly more men to the breakdown than the Maori to actually win the ball, and even then it's slow, so when the ball does come back, they're outnumbered. Tim Swiel tried to bring the whole of the back line down to short side there, and just for a second there was a possibility that it could have been moved. Good line speed made him step inside, and from there the outside backs had filled in.
Hold, respect the gap.
There's Brad Webber, who shares the scrum half duties with Tuera Kerr-Barlow at the Chiefs. Direct running line from Tim Bateman, the Crusader. There's Ihaya West, there's a danger man Low. Oh, the ball bobbing about there, a little bit of basketball. Matt Proctor, Super Rugby winner this year with the Hurricanes. That's one reason why he's looking around. Does he need support? He will do now. It's looking for him, but he's still going on there to Webber. And it's try number 3, and it's gone the way of Shane Christie.
Well, again, nice footwork. But again, a first-up tackle missed. Christie, in the tradition of good number 7s, has been all over the field.
Cheers. All good, Rose?
The initial problem was caused, actually, you won't see this, but when the ball came to the Maori right-hand side, the Quins' open side defence stayed stationary. They didn't come up, so that when players stepped back inside to move the ball back into the open side, they were not where they should have been.
He's had a good year, has Shane Christie, led his provincial side, Tasman, to the Mitre 10 Cup Premiership final just a few weeks ago.
And a World 7 Series winner in 2011, so...
Impressive start from the Higher West. The Maori into the 20s, and well, there was barely hand laid on Matt Proctor until that point.
Stay on.
It's the black 7 jersey also, I suppose, has a bit of a mystique of its own, doesn't it? One or two New Zealand rugby players sensing that if it's not up for grabs at the moment, it certainly doesn't belong in one man's locker as it has done for the last decade or so.
Wait on. Good help.
Catch there by Rory Jackson, the man who's a fly half by inclination. Played 30 odd times for Scotland, but could have played a lot more. There's the carry from Ioane. The captain was Ash Dixon. Webber, West, change of direction. Well, those first-time tackles are not being made, are they? Super inside ball, and here goes Bateman.
That's a lovely try.
Well, you called it. And this time it's Sean Wainui.
And what is doing the damage is the Maori use of the ball back inside, because the inside players, once the ball's been released and not then coming across, I don't know if it's intention or unfitness, but the Maori are spotting that twice there. Simple out to in, break made, finished off well.
Well, they're being put
Well,
to the
Adam
sword,
Jones
aren't they?
there, I maybe understand that, but but they're spotting the mismatches, they're spotting where the doglegs are, and this is the first bit. I have to say, although that looked relatively simple, you see clean breaks all the time in rugby, and they're not necessarily finished off. And this is one of the hallmarks of the New Zealand Super Rugby teams, the All Blacks and tonight the Maori, that when they get these chances, they run the right lines, irrespective of the number on the back. They time the passes properly, and they convert more than most teams.
Yes, and a New Zealander put it to me very simply recently. He said the difference between New Zealand and many of the Northern Hemisphere rugby nations is that when you're born in New Zealand, by and large, you're given a ball in your hands. In this part of the world, it goes to your feet.
Yes, that's right.
It's an oversimplification, but there has to be something in it.
Yeah, there's something. Also, the preponderance of, you know, touch rugby and so on, which aids handling skills.
And Leo trying to get to that. Playing his first game of rugby for quite a while. He's been retired now for more than a season. Well, gathered over his shoulder by Macarthius. There's Luke Jones, who's the son of Lynn Jones, former Ospreys coach, and most recently the director of rugby at the Dragons. And there you can see the Maori All Blacks just dominant in just about every aspect.
7.
It wasn't just the fact that the
7 rising.
Harlequins players were late in on that tackle there. It was the fact that the potential outside break was stopped by the line speed of the Maori. Cut off all the options. Player had to come back inside, by which time support runners who would have been into tackle to win the breakdown were not there.
Let's see if we see something rather more conventional here. It's within that classic catch and drive range.
The front decks, yeah.
Ash Dixon, the captain there, he didn't miss a match for the Highlanders when they won that Super Rugby title in 2015. Goes to Fetu Douglas. Joe Gray getting in there and making a bit of a mischief of himself.
Did well, Gray, coming round the front, spotting the front peel.
Yeah, lost forward, George from there. We haven't had a scrum for a while. Balance. Wait for my call. Crouch. Bind. Balance.
So it's almost a point a minute.
Balance.
Closing in on the half hour.
Well, the referee said balance again, but that was early.
Same for you
It's
now.
going early.
Both on a free kick now. Next one's a penalty.
You put yourself in the position here of Harlequins. What can they do? Is there anything they can offer here to try and repel? Whether it is conventional or of the dark art variety?
Well, you could lock the scrum out, quick strike and get it to the back and do it that way. The problem is, when that's not available and you're against a more powerful pack, you're immediately under pressure.
So Webber with the put-in.
Okay, both down.
Well done, boys, that's better. That's better, well done.
Okay, yeah. Just step to me.
Here we go.
It is a very experienced front five for Harlequins, with the exception of young 20-year-old Stan South.
Okay, down the middle, please, okay?
Mark Reddish, the Super Rugby winner.
Over here, to me.
Alongside Stan South, they're in the boiler room. That's Reddish there with the beard and Stan South with the headgear. In that front row, Adam Jones, of course, on the tight head side. Joe Gray, full England international, made his test debut against the All Blacks on that 2014 tour, which started well, but didn't end so. With a bit of a beating in Hamilton, and then on the loose head side, Dan Murphy.
Okay,
but
the two of you, captains, come here.
let's have a listen. You can pass your judgment afterwards.
I made my
Brian.
message pretty clear before the game that I wanted space and balance, and you're not giving me that right now, okay? So, no, it's not. You're both pre-engaged, okay?
I'll give you space. And then
Absolutely, that's what I want. Otherwise, you force me into making a decision now. Let's go.
I'll give you space. He can
What do
do
you
the
want,
balance,
Captain?
Brian. Was that it?
What do you want? Penalty?
Meaningless. Utterly meaningless.
Yep.
Look,
Penalty second for...
you can have whatever scrums you want, but you tell me whether it's entertaining. I don't think a scrum's completed today, has it yet? They've all been free kicks.
Second one early.
Six go.
Adam Jones, I suspect, has heard it all over the years. Keda Ioane wearing 8. There is Ash Dixon. His fellow Highlander Liam Coltman, the #1 hooker at the Highlanders, made his All Blacks debut off the bench at the weekend in Rome. 10 tries the All Blacks scored against Italy. Quite a response, really, after the defeat to Ireland in Chicago. Well defended thus far by Harlequins. Here we go. The drive's going. The momentum is built up. Dixon has it under his arm. Well, this is almost unstoppable if it gets going. They're doing pretty well so far, though, the Harlequins. The referee urges the Maori to use it. Ihaya West, a little stab behind, and coming across there was Rory Jackson, well anticipated by the fullback.
It was, and that was good. That was good work by Quins. Very difficult, not easy to stop driven lineups, especially if they're set up properly, which that one was. and to cover
All behind.
behind for the kick through.
Advantage.
The knock on
Forward, scrum, Queens.
off the Maori hand.
What's
So
the
we're
problem?
looking for the
Okay.
quick one, Joe Gray.
Okay,
Not
let's go then.
just a little bit far.
Here, guys. Stay right here,
In America, in their professional league, they're having a time limit on these. You've got to form within 30 seconds or you're penalised. And I absolutely agree with that. You can see there the rain has started again, and although it doesn't look bad, let me assure you it is pouring down.
Bind. Set. Score 9.
There you go. Winter closing in on the southwest of the capital. Not the straightest there from Luke Jones.
You amaze me.
7 bound.
The pick up from Nopu. The offload to Jones. He was on his own, and that, oh, it's a horrible miscue.
Still live, boys, still live.
Just a second there, they were looking, Maori looking to
Yeah.
take a quick line out. Decided they'd probably better have the 60 yards.
That's better, Captain.
There's big George Nopu. Spent a bit of time in Canterbury, the real cradle of New Zealand rugby. The higher West having to grab that from what's between his legs. Well picked out by Cheeseman. Did that go forward off a Maori hand? Referee says not. The little offload there from Curtis was rather special. Here's the captain, Ash Dixon, who knows only one way.
Wait on.
Wibber. Wrapped up by Nopu, and also in there was Rory Jackson. Stepping into play scrum half is Ambrose Curtis. Held up by Ioane. There goes Curtis again.
Part of the rock.
Kane Hames plays scrum half. Kia West, here's Bateman. Tackle from Adam Jones. Good work from Adam Jones.
It was, and I have to give credit to the referee. He's been consistent in terms of how he referees the tackle. See how near he can get. Well, not quite as near as Quinn's probably wanted, but I think this is the first opportunity they've had in the Maori 22 of any note.
Just on your 8.
The last 4 minutes of the first half.
Let's go, Queens, please.
The obligatory discussion before the line-out is over. The white smoke has been seen, so they now know where it's throwing.
6.
So here's Joe Gray. Stand south it was in the centre of the line out for Harlequins. Gray's got it now. Well, this is very effective.
1 stop 9.
Try line you can see over on the left. There it is for Adam Jones. He's got his paws on it now.
Side 3.
Penalty advantage now to Harlequins. Working their way within 8 metres now, out from Luke Jones. There's Swiel. Well, the kick pass, which didn't really come off, but they will have the penalty.
Side entry.
Coming in from the side, there was Ben May.
Number 3. Side.
Well, Quinn's doing diligent work in keeping them all going forwards, and when it splintered, man at the side.
Yeah, 3.
There.
Well, in the context, that's yellow card stuff, isn't it? He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, probably.
Cheers.
That was on until it came off the side of his foot.
The refereeing fraternity talk so much about in the context of games, and when you go in from the side, it's such a premeditated fashion as that. It deserves more than the penalty, doesn't it? Anyway, it's turned over at the line-out. Bateman with a big hoof downfield. Jackson's patrolling. He's got Aspen Robinson to his right. Decides to come left, straight back into the heavy traffic. And the black jerseys were there in numbers, but in the end, it's George Naupu who picks it up. That's the halfway line. Last 90 seconds of the half. Aspen Robinson finds Jones. Out here to Joe Gray. This is rather better. It's been a good 5 minutes or so for the home side. Stands south, loses it forward in the tackle. Little chip ahead, back goes Luke Jones. Change of direction. Ibitoye. Oh dear, he merely gifts it to Mark Proctor. Here goes Curtis. Ioane feeding it on to his captain, Ash Dixon. James Lowe again.
Backwards.
Ihaya West changes direction, surveys the options. Weber just pops it up that time, and that was Wainui. There goes Ben May. And it was rather extravagant. Well, there goes the whistle for half-time. A first 40, utterly dominated by the men from New Zealand. 4 tries, they lead Harlequins by 26 points to 3. Well, just a suggestion, Brian, that Harlequins starting to come back into the game in the last 10 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, I think so, because they've got players of promise there. The problem is the disjointed nature of the effort. You know, the men who would usually be on the shoulder for potential offloads are not there. We've seen some tremendous footwork from the Maori. We've seen some good direct running, quick ball, and you can see what they do given any space. From a Quins point of view, from a competition point of view, you'd like Quins just to step up in the second half. But I foreshadow that we'll probably see more of the same, which will be entertaining in terms of tries. So and we do have to take into account the weather is not very good.
So there it is, half-time at the Twickenham Stoop. The Maori All Blacks lead by 26 points to 3.
Well, Nick Evans, an exciting first half, but it's been all the Maori All Blacks so far. What have you made of it?
Yeah, it has. Their skill level's pretty good, isn't it? It was a good start for us. The boys went well for 10 minutes or so, put them under a bit of pressure. But yeah, that just skill level, they got their front football and it was made it a bit hard for us. But we came back in the end there, a bit unlucky, but it's just a great occasion for the boys. There are a lot of young guys out there wearing the jersey for the first time. To come up against an iconic jersey like the New Zealand Maori, it's fantastic. So hopefully we can come out and maybe run in a few tries.
An amazing experience for the crowd here and for the players to be playing in such a historic fixture, and quite a loud noise being made by the fans when those Kiwi tries go in.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to appreciate good rugby, and that's what it's all about. I'm gutted I'm not out there. There's a few of the boys that would love to put the jersey on and play against the New Zealand Maori. A lot of pride with those boys and with us as well. So hopefully the second half can be a little bit better for us, but I'm enjoying the rugby. It's great to see a New Zealand team over here and an iconic ground like us, and enjoying it.
Thanks, Nick.
Brilliant.
David, good to see you again. How big an honour is it to host the Maori All Blacks at the Stoop this evening?
It's a huge honour. I think the last time we played the Maoris was 90 years ago, actually over the road, where we were lucky enough to win that game 11-5. But the Maori is a team steeped in great culture, great tradition, and in our 150th year, that resonates very highly with the way we try to approach what we do here at the club. So it's a great honour, and it's a huge excitement, and actually you can feel that in the office. The whole club has come together on the field, off the field, to understand that tonight's a really special night, and we're looking forward to it.
Good. Now, this match plays a central role in your 150th anniversary celebrations. How have the celebrations been going so far, and what's yet to come?
Well, it's exciting. We're 150 years old. We're one of only 6 clubs in the world that can say that. And we've got a whole bunch of things that have planned. We started our season off with, which you'll see tonight, is a very special shirt, some anniversary shirt that's been made, which has been great with our partners at Adidas. And we had some fun things to kick off the year with old veterans games and sort of just celebrating what has gone before. And so the platform we have for this year is to enjoy what has happened before. We're rich in heritage, so we've got dinners, we've got golf events, all the things you'd expect us to do. But what we're also trying to say is, okay, so what do we want to be famous for going forward? What do we care about going forward? So we're spending a lot of our time with all the events we have going on this year. We're going to plough that money back into our foundation, which we started, which will allow us to do more things in our community, more things around the world with our affiliate clubs, and more things for the women's game. So as much as it's about a party, it's also about what next.
We have an American audience this evening. Quins are just starting to reach out into America. And what sort of projects are you working on?
Well, that is exciting. So a couple of weeks ago, in fact, we went over to watch the Maoris play America, and it was the same game with the Irish All Black game. We announced that we were going into a more formalised relationship with USA Rugby and their partner vehicle RIM, which is our involvement in terms of how can we, as Harlequins, humbly help American rugby. America is in great shape. America is a fantastic opportunity for rugby now. It's one of the most dynamic rugby markets in the world. And as Harlequins, we're looking at that and saying, over the next 5 to 10 years, what can we do to help grow that, to maximise the athletes' potentials there, to help grow the grassroots, to help more people be excited about the game we love, because there's huge potential over there, and that's our reason for joining up with USA Rugby.
Now, a big focus for the club is to exist in another 150 years' time. You've mentioned the ladies' game already. I mean, what other plans are there in the short to long term to keep Quins competitive and sustainable?
Well, that's it. It's about the rugby. We start and we finish with the rugby of what will happen here tonight, and it's the different variants of our game. We used to say, we've spent a lot of time and effort over the last year investing in the girls' game, investing in the women's game, investing in those pathways. But you just have to look at what happened in the Olympics with 7 to see that variant of our games is sort of really taking off. So what's our position in 7s? But also around the world, we have 8 affiliate clubs around the world. How can we help them? How can we have a mantra in the office about one club? How can we bring our amateur clubs closer? How can we bring our affiliate clubs closer and really excite the world through our spirit and do new things in the coming years? And if we do that and we reach more people and we excite more people, then the club will be in good shape for the next 150 years.
It's hard not to have heard of the rich history that surrounds this great club.
There is an expectation, and it's how you deal with that expectation.
From its creation at the heart of London,
lawyers, you had bankers, you had people who were very wealthy,
to its nomadic years around the greens of West London.
I said I want it to be a big club. They said, we are a big club. I said, no, you're not.
It's battle with great war and its heroes.
People who went through the pain and just would not give in, no matter how badly they felt. Did they have the character to just fight through and refuse to be beaten?
The relationship and success around the world.
We were given guns. We were locked in our bedroom at night. That's a lasting memory.
Through to its production line of talent and success in the modern era. Yes, they had the skill, and yes, they had the pace. But did they have the character?
It's always an honour whenever you get to play in that shirt.
There's quality in every position.
I kind of liken it to being an All Black.
The rest of the rugby world had a view on Harlequins.
Dilettantes, didn't want a crowd.
City slickers running around, pouncing around the pitch.
Poncy shirts.
Chocolate, French cream, magenta, and so on.
A bit of Harlequins colours in there, I think.
The rest of the country came down to give us a whacking.
They were not our favourite team.
But I think we showed them a different side.
It's like a fairy tale, isn't it?
So very shortly we'll be set to go for the second half at the Twickenham Stoop, the first 40 utterly dominated by the Maori All Blacks, and very slick rugby indeed. It's more than a decent crowd at the Twickenham Stoop for a Wednesday night in the middle of November, with all the London traffic. And that, of course, in many respects, a tip of the hat to the visitors from New Zealand, but also the fact that this is a very significant day in the 150th year anniversary celebrations for the Harlequins Rugby Club, a side with a very rich history. And well, I must say, I will defer to the man to my right, who knows rather more about this club than I do. It's some great moments over the years, haven't there,
Well,
Brian?
do you know that it's the only club, I think, that has got a picture of 5 of its first team who've all been members of Parliament in one particular photograph. I think it was early in the 1900s, I think. But it's had that reputation for a long time. And I actually think the modern setup here is a credit to the people who've worked on it, and unusually a committee, because it's not run by one benefactor. It's been organic growth. They've stayed at the ground, they own the ground, and the crowds have grown year on year. Season tickets have gone up, and that's a great credit to that. And on match days, it's a good experience here.
And I know I might be beginning to tread on slightly dangerous ground here, Brian, but I mean, you're part of furniture in these parts, but you're not the archetypal Harlequin, are you?
No, in fact, in my first game, when I whacked someone, it was played at Twickenham. I went with the committee room and someone said, "That Moore chappie, we don't want that sort of ruffian here, do we?" I think I outlived him, though.
I mean, in fairness, you may be well disguised, but you are a professional in your previous life, aren't you?
Yes, I am, I suppose there. I don't have inherited money, though.
Well, there are not that many solicitors who've played rugby for England who are Harlequins who come from Halifax.
One, I think. One.
A rare beast. So, here's another rare beast. One half of what used to be the hair-bear duo at the Ospreys. Duncan Jones, the other Jones, who's now on the coaching staff at the Ospreys. And here's Adam Jones, who's, I think would be fair to say, in the twilight of his professional rugby career in southwest London. Well, there's the alteration having been made at hooker. Charlie Piper, just 20, takes the average age down a bit, with Joe Gray having moved to one side after the first 40. Ehire West is all set to go. The rain for now holding off.
Captain.
26 points to 3. There's the junior world champion, Sam Asplin-Robinson. Luke Jones onto George Naupu.
Wait there. Onside.
There's Luke Jones, who's at Harlequins as on a short-term injury contract, and he's been hit a little bit late, I think.
Quins.
Taking a while to get to his feet. Run your eye over this one for us, Brian. I think we're going to see this again.
Ahead of the rock, was it? Yeah. Yeah, I know, but don't play the player off the ball. Is that fair?
Oh, yes. Knew what he was doing.
Just don't play the player off the ball, that's all I'm saying.
Never in a position to charge down. Gratuitous, that's a yellow card. It's a cheap shot as well, because it's the kicker, the scrum half, he's not facing him.
Seconds! Crouch!
Not very brave at all.
Set! Bind! Set! No.
Well, again, in the context of the game, 26 points to 3, you're leading. Big fella against a little
Let's
chap.
go again. Hold the weight. Wait for the ball. Fair?
The real fact is it's coming from his blind side. He's made no attempt, he's not even going to charge the ball down because it's in the opposite side to him, and he goes in late high. Cheap shot.
Yes, it's certainly where the game needs to start protecting its professionals as well, because we have seen one or two retirements already this season, at least one which I know was as a consequence of a reasonably similar circumstance to that one. Anyway, Jones is all in one piece. Another rather messy scrum.
Given for wheeling, pulling the scrum back. Interesting that he only made the call after the ball was out.
So here's Tim Swirl at his second stint as a Harlequins player. He was born in England but raised in South Africa. Spent a bit of time at the Sharks franchise in Durban.
Time off.
Adam Jones, I think, is down.
Yes, there he is, down on one knee. That's a neck injury, isn't it? So John Kingston there alongside Graham Rowntree. Tough night for the boss, isn't it? When he sees his side being utterly outplayed and knowing that his resources are stretched across his squad with players away with England, the likes of Chris Robshaw, Mike Brown and a few more, and with the Aviva Premiership back on us in the next couple of days.
What are you seeing, though? Is he seeing the very young players against good quality opposition and organised opposition?
On the line.
Can only see so much in training. Live performances against a committed and talented side like the Maoris, much better.
Oh, Charlie Piper just asking a bit too much there of Stan South. Ehire West, long wait there for Asplin Robinson. Jones out to the New Zealander there, Reddish. Here goes Naupu again.
Wait.
The carry from Dan Murphy. And an awful lot of games for London Irish did Murphy before moving on to Gloucester. Ibitoye. It's a lovely little cameo. Hasn't had too many opportunities today, making his first appearance in a Harlequins jersey for the senior side. That is South. Jones. Players hanging back for it. Here's Wainui. Back from Webber to West. Sees a little bit of space there with Aspen Robinson having followed up his own kick. Rory Jackson just improves his angle.
Not too bad from Rory Jackson, but the
12
credit is in Maori favour because much longer kick, found grass.
1 and 3.
So the Maori All Blacks making alterations in the front row, both props being changed. So Kane Hames and Ben May giving way to Chris Eves and Marcel Renata. There is Marcel Renata, one of the youngsters, just 22. Only made his Auckland debut, and when you say Auckland, that is distinct from the Blues. Wainui. West. Good hands there from Proctor. That was low in the line. Out to Curtis. The captain, Ash Dixon. Change of direction from Webber. Ehire West getting through the first line of defence up to the 22. Webber again, a gap opens for him. Well, it was a beautifully weighted pass, but also beautifully forward.
Yeah. Well, Ehire West causing all sorts of problems because he only a couple of yards.
Time off.
Ehire West, the thing is, inside players can't drift off him because he's so quick, so balanced, easily comes back inside, made 2 or 3 breaks. That gives the backs outside him more room because people cannot shuffle across, can't drift away from him. Quality player. And outside him, Matt Proctor, another quality player, well, he's been good for the Hurricanes as well. That's all you need to know, really. See here, anyone drifts, quick on his feet. I've seen those allowed in test matches, you know.
Got dates and times?
A French one, I remember. That upset a lot of New Zealanders.
Yeah, that's much better, guys. Got to keep that, okay?
Well, these two sides actually meeting for the second ever time. First time 90 years ago. Could have been a couple of your old MP friends might have been playing in that one.
Quite possibly.
It was across the road.
Maori won, did they? 11-5, is that right? 11-5?
Quins won.
Quins won 11-5.
11-5, yeah. Exactly 90 years ago.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. Don't have to tell me. Okay, time on. Thank you, guys.
I think tries were worth about 3 in those days, weren't they?
I think you kicked a touch from anywhere as well.
Good heights, good angles. Seconds! Crouch! Bind! That's the problem.
Yes, they are a side with a great history, aren't they? And they played many international sides. United States, of course, 12 days ago, their most recent fully international opposition.
I remember playing them in '93 with the Lions at Wellington.
Bind.
We eventually came out winners after a scary first 20 minutes.
That'd have been at the old Athletic Park.
It was, yes.
A windy spot.
Indeed.
On a good day. Naupu finds space down the blind side. He'll chip over the top. Well, he's a man who played a lot of his rugby down in New Zealand, so he knows no boundaries. The pick up there from Wainui.
I don't think it was the right option, to be honest.
9 arriving, hold on.
Well, in the end, it's worked for Harlequins. They got a penalty just inside Maori territory.
He actually has been the pick of the Quins players. You want to see him a lot with ball in hand, but he's been doing a lot of work in and around the breakdown and tackle defensive situations.
Yes, George Naupu, who his professional career started back in 2004 at Canterbury. Played there for a couple of seasons. He then joined Tasman for a season before moving to Hawke's Bay, the Magpies. 2009, after making his Super Rugby debut with the Highlanders, he moved on to Connacht over in Galway on the west coast of Ireland. So Piper. This is working well for Quins. Piper's got the ball tucked underneath his arm.
Through the middle. Out.
Still got about 10 or 12 metres to go.
One stop 9.
Right in there is Dan Leo. There's Adam Jones, now fully restored. Oh, and there still goes Jones, up to 5 metres out. Now, can they produce it? Yes, they can. On they go.
Tackle move.
Right in the thick of it again is Naupu. The referee's got his arm out, so there's a penalty advantage for Harlequins. Can they make it pay? Where is it? Standing over it is Reddish. Reddish presents it. Oh, and they've lost control, and falling on it was Tom Franklin, but we come back to the penalty.
Well, I don't think the referee's going to give this, but just stayed there long enough in the tackle before making the attempt to get out the way.
Well, Dan Leo's taken a while to get back onto his feet.
Discipline.
Yes, Dan Leo's quite an interesting story, actually, because he's doing a lot of work these days. The welfare of players from the Pacific Island nations, which, because Fiji are due over the road at the end of the week, has certainly become a bit of a topic du jour.
We just see there You only need to line the way for a second longer for all your defence to be reorganised.
So, Viper finds South. They've still got it. It's there with Dan Murphy.
Wait.
He's gone to ground. There it is for Jones, out there to Swill. Here's Rory Jackson, stepping inside. Still going Jackson, just a little bit of a fingertip on a boot, took him down.
He's on it.
Well, it's another penalty.
Yeah, I've got it.
Once again, when you consider how many penalties are being racked up now,
17, entry and collapse.
he may well go into his pocket.
Well, bearing in mind both of them have been very close to the line, I'm surprised this is a warning coming now.
Okay, that's 2 now. Okay, any more here, you don't leave me any other option. Okay, entry and collapse. You've collapsed.
Well, you'd have heard that. It's fairly clear.
On the ball, carrier. Sack is good.
Well, this time the referee has no problem with it. There's the pickup. The try line, 2 metres out here for Harlequins.
Use it!
Referee urging Quins to use it. There's no Upu being driven over the line. Have they got it down? They have. Well,
the
it
referee,
looked good to you, it looked good to me.
The referee, you can't be on all sides, I don't blame him for that, but he was on the side where he couldn't see. We got a slight camera angle showing the ball on the floor.
Take your players, please.
Well, temper's getting frayed.
Players, please.
Does at least go to show the match matters, doesn't it?
Yes.
Thank you, Captain. Step away and leave
I don't
him
have a
alone.
problem with that.
Take your players, please, Captain. Come off.
So let's listen in here. What's the question?
Yeah, it's inconclusive for me. It didn't say ground in. Try yes or no, please.
Well, try yes or no, but I guess in the favour of Harlequins is that we will be able to produce what we saw.
Can't see that, it's on the other side. Well, that was short to me to start with.
On the line there, Dave?
I think it goes over eventually, but
Try looks good to me there, Dave. Is that a grounded?
you can then see it, but it is grounded short. And he's allowed, if he's grounded short, to make one movement to place it in any direction, or to be taken over by his own momentum.
Andrew,
yeah.
Those are all the angles.
Yeah, is he, I've seen a ground in there by Blue, Harlequins player.
Yeah,
do you agree?
Is it literally short, but his momentum pushes him over, so you now will
yeah, okay, thank you. Try is good.
Well, as you read it there. David Rose, the television match official, answers in the affirmative. And Harlequins have their first try of the night.
I'm not entirely sure momentum includes holding on to the ball and being pushed over the line, by the way, but anyway, from a competition point of view and from Quint's point of view, that's a very welcome try. They might have had one before.
Well, as a matter of record, it remains to be seen quite who is credited with it. But I think in just about every respect, that's a team try. George Naupu was certainly in the thick of it, but he wasn't the only one. Well, for John Kingston and Graham Roundtree, that's almost poetry, isn't it, that sort of try? Sort of one they really appreciate. Tim Swill applies the two-point touch.
And that will give Quins, you know, a little bit of a lift, because shows they can breach the try line if they get the field position.
Well, we've had the fellas from forensics onto it, and Dan Murphy has been credited with the score. Swill. Oh dear, asking an awful lot there out of Aspen Robinson, who took that rather like fielder at second slip.
Use it!
Jones.
Away now, Black, move! Yeah.
South getting to ground, but Harlequins failing to control it, but the knock-on has actually come off the hand of a Maori player.
You can see the distinct difference between the amount of effort and players that Quins have to put into breakdowns to get the ball back. In contrast, much more accurate, quicker ball from the Maoris, allowing their backs to play on the front foot. It's a good pick-up.
Yeah, Sam Aspen Robinson there, the 19-year-old. Went to school at Wellington College. World champion with England's under-20s in the summer. Martin Haag, who was the man in charge of that campaign.
What's going on?
There are plenty of under-20 world champions on both sides here today. You consider that between them, at that level, England and New Zealand have pretty much dominated over the course of the last 10 years. Just South Africa winning at Newlands against the New Zealanders in 2012.
The thing is, the conversion rate is not anywhere near what people think. If you get one, maybe two players out of one age group, you're doing very well. Quins actually doing well in that scrum. They got the nudge on. Ball wasn't straight, but eventually getting the nudge on, and Maoi's taking it down.
Yeah, 1 and 3.
So here come the alterations in the backs. Jason Emery, the Highlanders, on. So to Terry Black. Dan Murphy also bids farewell, the try scorer, along with the captain Adam Jones. Oh, big palm in there. Great work that time from Leighton Price. And then from Taranaki. Yes, New Plymouth, one of the greatest backcloths to any rugby ground in the world there, with Mount Taranaki in the distance.
Wait.
There you can see confirmation of those alterations.
No, no, no! Quins!
Webber. Little step. Billy Guyton, you can see on there as well, wearing 21. Oh, what a carry from Akira Ioane. Ioane inside, this is impressive stuff. Curtis on there to Eves.
Oh, that's a shame. Just the final transfer. So much power there.
Boys, new personnel, good space and good balance, okay? Wait for my call. Here.
What's that, 4 tackles? You got out of good hands.
Rich, you're on your knee, collapse. Get your feet underneath. Let's go, guys. Balance as a pack, not just an individual, okay?
I should make a correction, by the way. I told you that Billy Guyton's on. It's not Billy Guyton. Terra Black has come on along with Jason Emery.
Coach.
Guyton waiting in the wings. There is the head coach, Colin Cooper.
I would think at the moment Colin Cooper be wanting more from his team, actually.
Yes, they've not quite gone to sleep, but certainly not been playing with the same intensity that we saw in that opening half hour.
Pulling out under pressure.
Well, that's
good
something
scrummaging. Good
we wouldn't
scrummaging.
expect to see earlier in the day, was it?
No replacements on as well.
Here, and then you went on.
Well, the two replacement props, Owen Evans and Matt Shields, both men with Aviva Premiership experience. As has that man, Tim Swale, who's been deputising through much of the opening weeks of the Aviva Premiership season with the Harlequins' own All Black. Nick Evans, having been suffering from injuries on and off.
Captain.
So Charlie Piper, and that one goes against the throw. Carry there from Reed Prinsep. Neat little inside ball. Oh, there's the fullback, James Lowe in the line. The carry from Renata. Webber.
No, it didn't affect.
Onto the captain there. That was Dixon. Oh, the ball lost forward, so Quins will be looking for quick ball to try and produce something here.
Knock on advantage, 9. Okay. No advantage, lost forward. Captain, you okay?
Yes, that was rather telegraphed by Luke Jones. He's no Paul Daniels, is he?
The other thing is what he's done a couple of times, you know, he keeps his hands on the ball, waiting. All that does, you only need a second for the
let's go.
defence to realign, ball
Back,
whipped
let's
away.
Back,
let the
please.
people outside him
Thank you.
make the options to when it's moved.
Balance, wait for my call. Crouch!
There's a knock on there from Matera Black.
Bind! Set! Let's go. Let's go, 9.
Let's see if that scrum dominance continues here for Harlequins. Well, it does. Not with quite the same drama.
Yeah, you've ran straight around. Back you go, please, Captain.
I have a lot of sympathy for that point of view.
Okay, back you go, 10.
Well, Warren Gatlin's looking on. What do you think he does on the night like tonight? Is it purely social? Is he coming to learn something about the Maori All Blacks? Meeting up with old mates? Bit of everything?
A bit of everything. You know, he'll be talking to John Kingston and Graham Roundtree, who knows well about Quins players and the ones at the England team. That's not straight, but he's got away with it. So, but he's got an overall mission.
Last feet.
Here it is for Jones. Sweel. A step from Cheeseman. As Luke Jones has had a busy night tonight. Only came into the side this morning. That following Charlie Mulcrone was supposed to start at 9 tonight, but failed the necessary concussion protocols after having taken a knock on the head in the last couple of weeks. There he is, Jones again, just popping it up.
Off feet, 8, move! No hands! Advantage.
Big black jersey just falling and flopping all over the ball and making a right nuisance of himself, and not doing it particularly intelligently either, Brian.
Well, it shows Quinn's starting to get ball over the gain line, starting to get behind the Maori, and like any side, when you're made to go backwards, it's much more difficult.
I've got that, Captain, thank you.
Penalties invariably seem to go to the team that are attacking.
Well, the kicking for the corner, there would be some merit, I would have thought, in taking the points here, but...
Captain!
Is that not in the spirit of the evening?
Too many penalties now. We spoke about 10 minutes ago. Every time we get in this area, there's a penalty by your team. Next one goes to the bin. Have a word now, get the message across.
Well, that's a very clear message.
Yes, I will. Wait, time is off.
Having said that, it's the second time he's issued that very same dictate.
There's a gap of 10 minutes now. Mind you, the more salient point possibly is where these are occurring. Strange that they just all happen to be in what they call the red zone. I don't think it's a coincidence there, to be honest.
Okay, ready, Captain?
So we've still got 18 minutes to go. Quins trail by 16, so they do need the 3 scores. Well, here we go. It's worked once. Oh, and he can't hit his man. They get a second bite of it. but it goes into the hands of a man in black.
That wasn't the bravest ever effort I saw from Tim Swiel to gather that ball, to be honest.
Ball available.
In the end, it was Marcel Renata, the Auckland tight head, who made the telling touch.
That's 3 line-outs out of 4 that Quins have lost recently, and you simply cannot function without set-piece ball. It's not only a question of a longer throw there, it's a question that the getting off the ground up and down is slow, because being able to match by the defenders, you normally have an advantage if you're not up and down quick enough.
9, back 10. Okay, say 2 then.
Yes, it was certainly Swiel that blinked there, wasn't it? Here he is, Tim Swiel. Carry from Ibitoye, and well, an uncompromising hit right in the thick of it there was Matt Proctor. Quins have it. Jones, Swiel.
Wait. Tackle!
Well, straight into the gut of Stan South there, and it just bounced out. Chance here now for the fullback, James Lowe. Finds the supporting runner. Reed Prinsep putting his head down.
15!
Here's Webber onto Ioane. Oh, and it goes forward off the hands of Curtis.
Well, there was an overlap there, and the Quins advanced player, I couldn't see who it was, I think it was Dan Leo, gambled successfully. If you make that decision to come in, you've got to hit man and ball, or got to put enough pressure on him so the ball is not easily transferred.
Well, I guess that sight there is one of the things that separates rugby from many other codes of football. The fact that an away fan can walk down in front of the grand masses, showing his allegiance.
Yeah, and long may it continue. You know, if we ever get to a situation where you can't do that, there's something very seriously wrong.
Hey, there's a familiar face.
Tana
Umaga,
who was not a bad player.
He wasn't bad at all, was he? Captain the All Blacks as well. Now, he's been cutting his teeth at coaching for quite a while, hasn't he? Spent a bit of time down at Toulon in the south of France. Now running the Blues franchise in Auckland, which in recent years has been quite a troubled Super Rugby franchise, really. Many people have tried and failed there.
No, just don't pull out under pressure. Over here. Is that fair? Yeah, okay.
So the alteration, and it's one of the Ealing Trailfinders who's on, Alex Bradley. That's certainly one to tell the grandkids.
It is actually. Don't underestimate that. Tyler played against the New Zealand Maori.
Dan Leo, late of Wasps, and in France, played at Bordeaux-Bègles and also at Perpignan.
Stay there now.
Well, this could go on all day, couldn't it, Brian?
It could, it won't.
No, that's a really good contest for me. Same scrum.
Well, you have to wonder why someone ended on the floor then.
That's a really good scrum for me. Okay, we're going same scrum. Over here.
Just a definition, just for pure. A really good scrum is one which doesn't compete in collapses.
Let's go.
That's what he's just said, isn't it?
That was. Let's go again then. We're not giving up, lads.
Well, those were his words.
Yes.
Seconds!
Same again now.
Yes, those.
Crouch!
You happy with that?
Let's have another one that doesn't compete and we just spend just watching, really.
Set. Stay. Let's go. Let's go, 9.
Well, that helps. It doesn't go in straight. What do the props do? Do they count the dimples on the ball?
They just keep shoving.
Use it, 8!
There it is. Quins have it. Jones. Full pass. Well picked up by Swill there on the bounce. Same for Aspen Robinson, who didn't have too many options. Well gathered by Ambrose Curtis. Curtis losing it forward though. Jones with the kick pass. That was the sort of thing that certainly didn't happen in your day, Brian. Oh dear.
Backwards.
And there was the fumble from Mikalausius. He recovered quite well.
A lot of men over here.
That was Cheeseman. The offload onto South. That's the halfway line.
Seppo 8, 10, 10.
And that is one of the things that English rugby has to get better at. You saw there at least a three-man overlap, not able to straighten the line, albeit relatively limited space for a number of players there, but stepping back inside, allowing the defence to drift, not putting it away, or not putting the man away.
Tara Black it is who has assumed the kicking duties.
Feet, which it was. You've got to use it immediately. Thank you. Yeah, can you step off, please? Just get them on your front man.
6, 7, 6.
Well, we don't want to speak too soon, but the Quins will take some comfort from the way they played in this second half.
Leave him!
Oh, inside ball, intended for the captain. Webber's recovered. The tackle from Ibitoye.
No! Quins, no!
Picked up by Tom Franklin. There's Dixon. Princer. Quins doing all they can to slow things down. There's Dixon again.
Last feet, Quins.
Well, that's impressive stuff. You aren't at the heart of that, but it's been turned over. Even more impressive. And they get the penalty.
Put yourself there, you've got to get yourself out.
Well, that's good defensive work by Quins. Initially round the fringes, stopping succession of drives, and then the steal.
Yes, and it's from the man from up the district line, one of the trail finders, Alex Bradley, wearing 20, and also you can see there 18, Matt Shields, and there he is.
That's a good pick.
Okay. Is that
So the Maori All Blacks is making a change in the second row. On comes Jacob Skeen. He replaces Leighton Price. Here is Jacob Skeen, 2 metres and 1, so what's that, 6'7" or so. Well, when you consider that 4 tries really came straight off the back of one another in the opening half hour, well, they've pretty much held their own since, haven't they?
Yeah, I think Quins deserve a lot of credit. They've stabilised things. It was always going to take him a little while because they're a completely scratched team.
Rory Jackson, little down
Oh,
forward.
if they'd been a bit further.
contact in the air? Yeah, number, Dix.
They've
Number
also
6, jumping straight across, number 6.
Jumping across. Here's the penalty.
15.
And also Quins have got a lot of very, very young players.
On the 15.
Very limited experience, where as they're playing against a team, whilst they don't play all the time together, they're all, I think, what do you say, 12 out of 15 are going to be, starting 15 are contracted to Super Rugby sides, so they're all quality players, and they've been on tour, which gives them a lot of time to meld.
Yes, 12 out of the starting 15 and 17 out of the 23, all on contracts to play Super Rugby next season. So, I mean, that really does put them...
See the ball in there, the contact there. Doesn't look much, but what it does, it just takes him away from his supporting players.
Did you see the way that was plucked out of the air? One hand by George Naupu.
One stop!
The Quins,
use it!
Maybe just sensing there's an outside chance here. Jones. Well, he was looking for Aspen Robinson, but I think he went out of his eye line. There is the New Zealander, Mark Reddish. Still have it though to Harlequins. On to Stan South, the youngster, just 20.
Wait there.
Jones, Sweel. Good running line from Ibitoye. Can't make the offload count though. Away comes Proctor. And this is where the Maori All Blacks are really dangerous. Here comes Curtis. This is suddenly where you see the speed and the momentum. Well picked up by Macalcius. He's being picked up by James Lowe. And it's harem-scarum stuff.
Hold.
Well, they've got away with it in the end. Usually the adage is, if you're in trouble, do not pass the ball backwards. Did twice there, and they're going to get away with it.
Wait.
And the clearing kick from the scrum half, Luke Jones.
We just saw there with Quinn's Gabriel Ibitoye, a little bit of lack of experience, makes a break.
Tight there.
There you are.
Very tight there when I called use it.
If they are, he's already gone over the gain line. The most important thing is that they retain possession. If the offload isn't quite there, don't give it. Recycle it, they're on the back foot, you're coming forward. Make sure when you've made the break that you can make it count.
Okay, we're playing on.
Yes, there he is, Gabriel Ibitoye, youngest man on the pitch at 18.
Okay. 9 and captain.
Now we do get the alteration at scrum half from the Maori. Brad Webber goes off, on comes Billy Guyton. He's only got 7 minutes to produce it, but Billy Guyton, one of his little party tricks is the pass back between the legs.
Yeah.
Might be a good way to finish off the tour. So off comes
back on.
Brad Webber, who really is one of the quality players.
Numbers.
And also the change there with off comes the captain. Ash Dixon replaced by Joe Royal.
Advantage.
Well, Quinn's winning that against the throw.
Box it, box it, box it.
Cheeseman.
Away now!
Managed to turn himself the right way, but then
through the middle, no advantage.
Didn't quite happen, but we'll come back.
Perfect, cheers.
Knock
No
on at the
advantage,
line
not
out.
forward in the air. Scrum Quins, always under the pressure.
Keep it going.
So 26 points to 10. The Maori All Black lead. Slightly significantly. Quinn's leading the second half, 7 points to 0 though.
Ear to ear. Yes.
There's James Lowe, standing at fullback. 2 tries tonight, 5 tries on his tour.
Let's go 9.
There it is again.
Use it!
Frozen in time. Oh, it's moving. To by Naupu onto Jones. Cheeseman. Jones coming back, big hit. Here's Macalcius. Support from Ibitoye. Still inside their own 22 though, are Harlequins. Inside the last 6 minutes at the Stoop.
Yeah.
That carry coming from Mark Reddish. Ooh, and Cheeseman getting caught in midfield by Matt Proctor. Well gathered by Wainui. Here's the danger man, Lowe. Great offload back to Wainui. Here's Guyton. Guy, a little pop pass too low. That's neat. On there to Franklin in the end. They're inside the 22. Eves that time.
Rockford.
Carry from Renata. There's Guyton. Here's Ioane. Ioane's been everywhere tonight. Has been overshadowed in the last week by Rico, his younger brother, who made his debut for the All Blacks at the weekend, incidentally becoming the youngest All Black since a certain Jonah Lomu.
Wait.
That was Skeen.
Wait. Use it!
Guyton just beckoning Tom Franklin to come that little bit closer. Guyton. Coming across here is Proctor. Finding himself in. Right in the thick of things there, Ambrose Curtis. Guyton. Just edging their way closer and closer towards this Quins try line. The defence holding up. Forcing the knock on. Gathered up by Mark Reddish. So I won't say the Maori All Blacks have been toothless in this second half, but they certainly haven't had the penetration that they showed in that opening half hour when they threatened to run riot. Back goes Curtis. Not the most enthusiastic chase by Quins, but it's been a long old night. Here goes James Lowe.
Didn't survive it.
Oh, that's straight into touch, is it? Oh, it just dipped at the last, didn't it? And Paul Dix has got his flag up.
Well, one of the reasons I think Maori have struggled a little bit more this half is Quins' defence has definitely improved in terms of alignment, line speed, and particularly covering the inside ball, and their scramble defence has been much better. That's made it more difficult for the Maori, and Quins have shown some sign of gelling, and that's made all the difference.
Which man? I can't remember. I think it was touched. Hooker, you ready? Okay, let's go then, guys, please. Yeah. Yeah. He's coming.
So 3 minutes left on the clock. 26 points to 10. The contest safe for the Maori All Blacks.
7.
More alterations coming.
10.
Another of the Ealing Trail finders is on. Josh Davis, the replacement scrum half.
He's coming now. Time is off. Let's get set up, but time is off.
Well, my man of the match, Kira Ioane, being all over the field, especially impressive in the first half, but
he's certainly a name for the future as well. He's just 21 in the blue squad for next season's or next year's Super Rugby Championship.
Advantage, not on.
Lost forward by the All Blacks, the Maori All Blacks. So, from deep inside their own half, can the Quins finish off with a bit of a flourish?
He's on that, no advantage. No.
Well, Quins will have the scrum.
Quite often in these sort of fixtures where there's nothing really at stake in terms of anything like this, it's still been a full-blooded affair. The hits have been of their normal high standard.
Oh, they've got a bit of a problem, actually. It's the hooker, Charlie Piper, who's taken a bit of a knock. So Joe Gray, not quite sure where he is, whether he's down in the shower or...
Well, that's not Joe Gray, who's come on, 23.
Okay, no, that's a loafer. So they do need a specialist hooker, so there is just a chance, and the last couple of minutes might go on for a while.
Let's go, guys.
Come on.
Well, they've got a replacement hooker, but it's certainly not Joe Gray.
Coach!
The third hooker. Suspect maybe Joe Gray has disappeared halfway down the Chertsey Road.
Yeah. Let's go, 9.
So there it is. Naupu. Oh, good little break from Aspen Robinson. Sending Henry Cheeseman. Oh, could it be that final flourish? But look at the defence there. There were options left and right, perhaps too many. Still alive though. Out into Reddish. Reddish with the carry, taking the ground by Skeen. Ooh, well, that was crunching on Luke Peters. Well, Luke Peters, another of the Ealing trail finders, and we say that how nice it would be for Luke Peters to pass on memories of his clash against the Maori All Blacks, but after a thump like that, you begin to wonder whether he is anything.
I'd like to see if his right arm is outside the player or it's just a shoulder.
That's a shoulder,
That's a
isn't it?
shoulder.
Another angle on that.
The difference is this, the left arm is out round, but the right arm nowhere near.
Yeah, show me again, please. That last angle.
Let me show you one more time.
So let's listen in, shall we? David Rose communicating with the referee Andrew Brace, and the man in the dock is Chris
The angle
Eaves.
before that, Dave. This one, yeah.
Here you go.
And if you were the defence barrister, could you offer anything there?
Is that shoulder only there by 17 black?
Well, I could say he was about to put his arm round him, but the contact took the player away from him,
Anyway, so I'm going to bin yellow card. Sorry, yellow
and
card.
he'd be found guilty.
It's repeat infringements anyway. No hands.
So it's a yellow card.
The other thing is, look, he's lined him up. He can tackle any way he wants. You know, he can use any sort of tackle he wants.
15 was back there,
Chose
so
to do that.
penalty here.
If it's marginal, he takes the risk.
No hands.
Just time for a line out, maybe. And they are going for that.
The last 40 seconds. You can be assured that Rory Jackson would have checked with the referee that they will have time for the line out.
Step off.
Well, I think the Quins crowd will be quite happy about Quins' effort in the second half.
Well, they lead the second half 7-0.
They show a lot of spirit as well.
Well, here's the drive.
Out 8!
And it's working up its momentum again. A loafer is putting his shoulder to it.
One stop! Use it!
Referee urging Harlequins to use it. Well, in the end it comes to nothing.
And game over, thank you to both the sides.
So, victory for the Maori All Blacks. But if we're looking for morsels of comfort for Quins, they won the second half by 7 points to 0. And certainly, Brian, after the opening half hour, you'd have to say that is, in some respects, a bit of a minor victory to the home side, because it could have got very messy.
Yes, moral victories don't really count in terms of anything, but the quality came from the New Zealand Maoris in the first 25 minutes when they played some lovely rugby. Especially the halfbacks. I thought, you know, most times Brad Webber, the higher West especially, proved to be very elusive, made the right decisions. And the outside backs, particularly Matt Proctor, who was a quality player, finished off the chances that were given with aplomb. It was good to watch, and then Quins battled hard in the second half. I think the young men deserve a lot of credit for going up against a more organised, heavier side.
Well, down there among the melee. I think we can find both Nick Heath, and he has got the man of the match with him, Akira Ioane.
Akira Ioane, many congratulations. You've managed to get the series win. How satisfying is that for the Maori All Blacks?
Yeah, pretty satisfying. After they lost to Munster last week, we just talked about regathering our feet and moving forward. And it showed in that game, that we did make some improvements. And I'm pretty happy to end it on a high. So yeah.
The first half was largely all Harlequins, but second half, I mean, they won that one on the scoreline. It was a bit more of a battle in that second 40.
Yeah, they came out battling, and that's what rugby's all about. It's a game of two halves, and full credit to the Harlequins, and it was a hard-fought game, and it's a one-out cheers forever. So yeah.
What does it do for the Maori All Blacks to be able to take a win away on this series and show that you really are a team with culture, heritage, but ability as well?
We talk about in the camp about aspiring, young Maori boys, to get here, and I think that's what we're doing, and we can only move forward from here. So here's hoping to next year.
Well, many congratulations. Let's just bring in Harlequins' Tim Sweel. And Tim, well, commiserations, but it must be quite magic to have been involved in a fixture of this nature.
Oh yeah, what a special occasion. I mean, a lot of the boys playing for Harlequins for their first time. Very young team we put out, and the boys really went for it. Obviously, the class of the All Blacks came through in the first half. We fought back well, but obviously it wasn't enough. But yeah, really special occasion for our 150th year, and yeah, the boys loved it.
7-0 in the second half. I mean, Harlequins won that second 40, we were just saying.
Yeah, we'll take it 1-0. No, but it was a great occasion. The boys really loved it. We had a few guys from a loan club playing tonight, so I mean, coming on and playing against the kind of second string All Black side is amazing, and they're really chuffed to have got out, so really good.
Thanks very much, Tim. Commiseration.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, a tour which started 12 days ago in Chicago with victory for the New Zealand Maori against the United States ends with a triumph in southwest London against Harlequins, the first match between an English Premiership side and the Maori All Blacks for 4 years. And well, Harlequins will go away with some encouragement. As we heard there, they won the second half, what it's worth. But the final score here at the Twickenham Stoop, Harlequins 10, the Maori All Blacks 26.
running on the pitch, Sylvia.
Congratulations. A second win out of 3. Was that a victory which enables you to reflect on a successful tour now?
It taught me a lot how you guys play the game over here, and adjusting and playing a different style.
In terms of looking at the whole 80 minutes, it was a bit stop and start, wasn't it? You were mighty impressive in the opening 25 minutes or so, but did maybe they lose a bit of their intensity, particularly in the second half?
I think, as I said to you earlier, this tour was all about getting people ready for the Lions. We have now got a good mindset on what the Lions will bring next year to New Zealand, and so we had to change our game to the way you guys play the game over here, and I thought we did that well, given that we only had 2 training runs to make those changes, and those changes were massive compared to what we've been doing in our NPC at home.
Where do you think you've moved forward, particularly over the course of the last 12 days or so?
I think protecting the ball better at the ruck, going back jackling, slowing ball down, that we don't do. We don't jackal in our national competition, so we learned that pretty quickly from Munster, and so we made those adjustments for this game against Harlequins.
Looking at individuals, it's not been a bad week for the Ioane family, has it? Rico making his All Blacks debut at the weekend, scoring a try, and his brother doing rather well tonight.
Yeah. I mean, that's those boys are the brother will join him eventually, but you know, he's again playing the style over here and not getting the room that you get because of the conditions, because of the way it's refereed here. You don't get that space that you get in New Zealand. So, you know, as I said, we had to keep adjusting to that.
Congratulations, safe trip home.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Cheers. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
week on the other side.
I'm on this side this time. Get my shit out the bloody way. Is that all right? John, often in the aftermath of defeat, it's quite difficult to draw encouragement, but I guess tonight was one of those nights when you could do.
Yeah, I thought the players were magnificent in the way that they stuck to their task. You know, we were under no illusions about what was in front of us, particularly given the team we put out there today, very inexperienced in a lot of ways. And for them to show the tenacity and courage was wonderful, really. They couldn't have done the shirt more good tonight. I think that everybody should be very proud of the way Harlequins went about their job tonight.
Did they surprise you in some ways? I'm talking about your side.
It disappointed me, I've got to be honest, with the 10-15 minutes in the first half, and the message at half-time was very clear. Yes, they're a good side, but I think we're showing them too much respect and we're standing off them a bit. And the message was very clear at half-time, it's 0-0. We need to win the second half, which we did, 7-0, which was amazing, again, really, when you consider the quality of the opposition, what a good side they are. And in the end, you know, we managed to go toe-to-toe with them second half. So probably a little bit disappointed, actually, in the end, that maybe we didn't get even closer.
Yeah, you conceded 4 tries in no time in the first half. I mean, what did they work out for themselves?
I think just the speed of reaction to turnover situations. There was, we were switching off a little bit, and they were looking at opportunities, things that we pride ourselves on normally. So just the speed at which they were trying to react to do things, we were a little bit slow, and that cost us. That was the big thing. And I also felt we just stood off them a little bit and let them play. And we got the message on to get up and start putting pressure on them. Talked about it beforehand. But once we realised that you need to get off the line, otherwise if you stand back you're going to have a long, hard night, they did it brilliantly.
Thanks, John.
No problems at all, thank you.
Cheers, fella. See you again soon, not sure where, but...
Hi.
Thank you.